So you may be saying to yourself, I'm already part of a sorority. Why does someone like me need to know about other sororities? What is NPC anyway? The National Panhellenic Conference, or NPC, is the umbrella organization for 26 national sorority groups. It is the organization that got your sorority to be the fabulous organization it is today. Let's go back to the early 1800s, when social fraternities for men were just getting started. In the mid-19th century, previously, all male universities began to admit women, and many women students felt it was in their best interest to band together. And so sororities began to emerge. Now, let's take a moment to answer a very important question. Why are many sororities still called fraternities to this day? Well, the word sorority was coined in 1882 by a professor at Syracuse for Gamma Phi Beta, but was not a word widely known, so therefore a lot of sororities were actually named fraternities. As these sororities began to expand nationally, adding chapters at many different schools, Panhellenics began to develop, and each had their own personality. For women's groups, getting started was particularly difficult on campus. These sororities advanced their organizations in the face of restrictive social customs, unequal status under the law, and the underlying presumption that they were less able than men. This reinforced the importance of cohesion among the sororities. They could not afford to be at odds with each other. In 1891, Kappa Kappa Gamma invited other sororities to Boston to discuss some of the challenges sororities faced. In 1893, a more informal gathering took place at the Chicago World's Fair. In fact, no records exist of this gathering. Then the collaboration fell dormant for 9 years. In 1902, Alpha Phi issued a fresh invitation to the sororities and even added a few new groups to the mix. Most of the groups came together in Chicago in May, and the world's first interfraternal association, the Inter-Sorority Conference, was born. The Inter-Sorority Conference went through a bunch of name changes, but for your sake, we will just call it NPC. Here's how the early NPC meetings were described. The very air in that small windowless room, it seemed heavy with a sense of secrecy. These women were deeply conscious of the sacredness of their vows to their respective orders. However cautious the delegates felt initially, they forged strong bonds of trust and friendship. Early meeting discussions centered on recruitment. These women were realists in their belief that competition could be good as long as the groups were committed to fair play. Arguably, the most outstanding element of the original groundwork is the way that NPC is governed. The equality of each member group is what makes NPC stand out from other organizations, including its unanimous agreements. From the very start, NPC has had to adapt to the changing world around it. NPC spent the better part of 30 years dealing with the upheaval of 2 global wars and the Great Depression. Female college enrollment in the mid-1950s dropped to its lowest level since before 1920. In the 1960s, NPC took an energetic stance towards re-educating the public about the value of women's fraternities. Since then, NPC has been able to offer initiatives to support social, health, and scholastic well-being of its members. At its largest, in 1957, NPC was composed of 32 women's fraternities. In 1984, NPC brought its operation to a new level of professionalism with the opening of a central office in Indianapolis. Today, the National Panhellenic Conference continues to provide support and guidance for its 26 member groups and serves as the voice for sorority advancement. NPC remains one of the oldest and largest women's membership organizations, representing 655 college university campuses and 4,500 local alum chapters in the US and Canada. Each year, NPC-affiliated collegians and alum donate more than $5 million to worthy causes, provide $2.8 million in scholarships to women, and volunteer 500,000 hours in their communities. The National Panhellenic Conference believes fraternal life continues to exist because it provides a good democratic social experience, gives value beyond college years, creates a circle of service beyond the membership, develops the individual's potential through leadership opportunities and group effort, fills the need of belonging. So there you have it, how sororities work together for good and how NPC has become the voice for sorority advancement.